Hello everyone, welcome back to MoteMancer. This is another new session because I wanted to wait and see if the bugs would be fixed, and from what I could tell, they were. The two bugs I had were I reported that mana pools had negative mana in them at the start of the session, and then at the end of the session I was like, they're draining 20 or 30 times faster than they should be. 20, I guess. And that was acknowledged and fixed, and indeed, by my own inspection before we started this recording, it does seem to be the case that mana pools are working fine. I also did a little bit of experimentation to see, what is the maximum throughput that wells and pools have? And I don't know the answer still, but I did test that, because the problem is I have so many more wells than I actually need that during the night they drain very slowly when there's no bug going on, so I can't see how quickly they discharge. But they charge at least reasonably quickly. I set it to night real quick and just checked, or no, at the start of the recording these were empty because of the bug, and so I watched how quickly they charged up when the sun rose. And the mana pools charged at least 500 per second, and the wells were discharging at least 4,000 per second. So, given that I have a setup like this in right next to the fire portal, if all of those pools are full, then there's 72 of them capable of charging at least at 500 per second, and I assume therefore discharging at 500 per second. That's 500 times 70. That's times about 7. No, 8 times 9. Yeah, 72. So that's 35,000 per second that they could charge or discharge, I think. And that's ignoring the mana wells, which I assume also help somehow. I don't know if it's enough capacity, but I think it is. And it seems to be, by testing, enough throughput. So I think we have enough mana coming from life to supply fire. So the last thing that I want to do, really, is ship something from Earth to fire so that I'm not just wasting that chest. I just haven't really thought of anything good. Where am I? It's down here. It's over here. Oh, I did consider shipping salt, but isn't that sort of insane? It seems insane. But, fire is energetic, so it makes ether. So salt should be hard to come by on the fire plane, you would think, right? The problem is, even with, a full streamway of salt, which is easy enough to make with water and brinaries, even one full streamway is not all that much, given how much salt you need for things down there. And I won't have access to streamways on the fire side, because they're water affiliated. I'll have access to shadow. Shadow's logistics tools. I think I know what one of them is from having heard on the Discord. I've mentioned before. It's, something like a streamway, but it's just a giant chest instead, where you can put something in here and take it out here like the next tick. So that would be pretty cool, to have just a humongous amount of salt there. The thing is, I'm most efficient at making salt here on life, so I would have to ship it through Earth to get there, because of brinaries, right? And brinaries... How do I even find brinaries? What do they look like? this. Brineries can only make salt from water, so I won't have access to that on the Earth plane. So I guess I'm not really any better at making salt. Shipping it won't be any easier than just making it on the other side. Because I don't want to lose access to water in my Earth factory. I think this is an important thing to ship. So I can't ship salt through here. And I could mine a bunch of salt on Earth and ship it through, I guess. Maybe I should just do that. I don't have any life keystones left, do I? Okay. So I only ever pick them up one at a time because I make so few of them. I don't want to disrupt production. Oops, I went too far south, I guess. So like around here somewhere, right? Oop, gotcha. Okay, now I have 2. Although, why I don't want 2. And this research is proceeding just fine, slowly, but that was always the plan. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I was talking about shipping magma grippers, because I already have the facilities to make those reasonably well. Right? But I'm not actually making them. I don't think. Yeah, this is just all research stuff. Oh my god, that's so many Earth keystones. It's shameful we're not researching with them. Oh, I forgot what a mess this research area was. I love it. I wonder if the Reach-In Gripper, Titan Gripper. Yeah, well. I mean, good luck automating any of that stuff. One thing I need, I suppose, is a large number of fire wires to get me started over there. That's true. So now I have a decent number. I don't know if I would call it large. I'd like a fistful of Reach-In Grippers. And those are automated over here somewhere, right? Do I have a chest of them? I do. 150 ought to do it. By the time I need more than that, hopefully I'll be able to automate stuff comfortably. Simple grippers or whatever. Gosh, I forgot I had so many pedestals. What was this all for? Ah, lava barriers require pedestals. I remember now. Someone pointed out in a comment on one of these videos that I had my grippers pointing the wrong way somewhere. Also, this doesn't need to exist. Was it here? They said some Titan grippers were pointing the wrong way. I didn't really see where. These are all pointing the right way, aren't they? I'm not even sure what structure they were talking about. It was... Ah, it was in this area, wasn't it? These are all right. Okay, I don't know. So I can drop off my streamways. I don't know if I'm gonna bother. Like I could, if I like automate shipping salt, because I do have like right here a humongous salt factory that's all going to waste, right? And I went to all the trouble somewhere here of setting up a streamway that's going to go there. I might as well send one streamway worth of salt if I'm not going to send anything else, right? And I just don't know what else I would want. I guess I could send salt prisms, because you need a lot of those. And they're annoying to automate. But I don't even have that many of them being made here, right? Oh, I guess I do. Oh, but they're going straight into pedestals. I don't actually have them on a streamway anywhere. There's some here, which is a modest production that in principle is going to research, but in fact, like that research is done. I don't know, it seems ridiculous to automate, to pull salt and have that be the thing I ship. I'm just gonna leave. Right? Let's just go. Let's ship nothing. Yeah, I'm ready. I want to go see what's going on fire. Oh, actually, I guess what I wanted was this. It's so hard to get on these things properly. If I were a good player, I'd be laying down like pathways, nice wide pathways, so I could at least get some speed on them. But I don't know. I've never. I don't think I've ever built concrete in my life in Factorio. Certainly never laid it down to make me go somewhere faster. Yeah, so I mean this network has millions of power. It should be fine. It's shipping here. I don't need any of this junk to be shipped to me. Oh, yeah, okay, alright. So incineration spires to deal with moat fields, I guess. It would be nice to have a few, but I have a few. I'm carrying them. So I'm just gonna go. I shipped power, and that's all I'm bringing with me. So there. Yeah, the wire clearly shows that this is connected to the rest of all this stuff. Yeah, these are all... Okay, it's annoying, but... This is all on the same network, which is separate from the root network. Good. Alright. I don't need my streamways anymore. I should make a chest here to just dump all the stuff I'm not taking with me. But that is at least somewhat valuable. Like, shouldn't need any of these streamways. They're very expensive, so let's get them saved. Mana pools and wells, no good. All this life stuff, I mean, doesn't do anything, but I don't mind just throwing it in the garbage if it gets... Okay, don't need a wave right, that's for sure. Who even knew I was carrying that? Shouldn't need earth keystones? Kind of nice to store these by the portal, too. Oh, I need one. Shouldn't need leaves. I mean, bismuth is kind of nice, I guess. Bismuth and brimstone? Well, no, I don't need bismuth for anything, do I? No. Ancient chests, kind of cool, actually. Can I just make one of those? Junk. Alright, I mean, this seems good enough. I'm bringing a bunch of collectors. I guess I could use some grindstones. Yeah, that was a thing that I ran into. Yeah, I should just bring a bunch of salt and ether with me, actually. is it was just hard to bootstrap on the Earth plane because I didn't have the basic tools for making factories. I got too caught up in thinking, hey, what am I going to need? That's specific to the planes I'm leaving behind. Whereas it was like, okay, yeah, but it would be nice to not have to bootstrap quite so much on the salt tier stuff. And also of note, I guess, is all the collector types. Like, I'm gonna want a bunch of quarry collectors, right? To mine Earth. Did I end up getting the fire fancy collectors? I think no. Here it is. No? Oh yeah, Ember collectors. By the way, this says Cinder collectors. This says Ember collector. Let's report that bug. So just like making some collectors for the hello submit. Okay, it's saving my game, I guess, and then uploading that. So I would like to have a handful of these, and especially for Earth, where Earth is going to be hard to come by, right? Okay, where are they? There. Of granite, of course. But didn't I do research on those? I should have a big pile of them somewhere. Somewhere, he said. Where my research is down here. I think I may have made those by hand and then dumped them into the research machine. Or maybe I never even did any. I don't think it ever asked me to make those. I mean, or I just didn't do the thing that required it. Eventually there's something like this, right? Quarry collector array. And I never did it. Alright, so I need just... Is there granite somewhere? There must be. I can at least pick up 50 from somewhere. No, I don't think I automated Titan grippers here. Is that possible? Because I already had it automated on Life to do the research that I cared about. I overbuilt a bunch of things and underbuilt everything else. Just a big pile of garbage there. Alright, I guess I have to make the granite by hand. And that's going to be the slow part for sure. Where's my elemental earth? This it? Gonna need, I guess, a bunch of ether as well. Maybe? Mostly elemental earth. I have plenty of ether now. Okay. So I could just ship in elemental earth the same way I did ship water into the earth plane, I guess. But you can mine Earth on the fire plane, so it seems kind of silly. Oh my god, this is... Where did this rift wasn't here a minute ago, was it? Not sure. Why is my mana not recharging? The rift has been destroyed. Oh, I'm building stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Where was I making all the elemental earth? Over here. That's the easy way to pick up a bunch of it. And likewise for salt, go to this giant factory. Now I can make a ton of these. Where's my cinder collectors? Or ember collectors, or whatever they are. This needs ingots, which needs elemental fire. Guess what? I found some. Needs more salt. This is why I was saying shipping salt, right? That should be enough ember collectors for pretty much the whole plane, I would think. Dot. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be crafting this stuff for the rest of my life. Oh boy, a while ago I got excited and said, I'm ready to go. And now I'm like, well, but I don't have any grindstones, I don't have any... I don't have any collectors. I mean, I guess I now have the collectors. The grindstones seem important. And making all this by hand could be a crime against humanity. Yeah, grindstones, a handful of Tinker's tables maybe, but what are grindstones used as inputs for? I sort of don't remember. They're used for something. Well, Tinker's tables, I guess. Oh, I would love to bring a bunch of elemental binders with me. And those, I believe, are on the life plane. I have them automated somewhere. I put down all of my earth keystones except one. I'll go get some more. Let's just take 20. Can't have too many, right? If some of them get thrown away, not really a big deal. Any bets on where I might find elemental binders? I think I made an automation for them. I don't think I made these all by hand. It'd be kind of embarrassing if I had, but I've done a lot of embarrassing things. It would be somewhere up here, maybe? You would think this was the salt mall. I mean, here's a bunch of simple collectors, which I'll need for shadow, I guess. And that was grindstones, wasn't it? That's nice. Do I have a box of these somewhere? Of course not. That would be too clever. Let's bring at least a handful of collectors for shadow. Oh, some granite. Oh, that's nice, I guess. guess I was doing research on granite here. And this is making reaching rippers, which I already have a handful of. Sure, grab some pedestals. I'm going to want some simple rippers, probably. Oh, I need slabs! I can't use streamways anymore. That's right. Okay. Oh, these are undergrounds. I don't need that many. Picked up a bunch of granite for no reason. That's cool. I don't want to throw away all these mana leaves. Let's just put those down. I'm sure they'll be helpful. Okay. Yeah, so this single leaf is making 3,000 power, which is ridiculous. Verdant collectors won't do me any good there, but I mean, I'm not going to just throw them away, am I? Yes, I am. I don't see myself needing elemental life for anything. Handful of salt prisms will be nice. I should carry in some salt. Certainly don't need cultivators. Okay, maybe I'll carry some roots in case I find something along the way that I need roots for, like this little tiny project. Is this one hooked up? It looks weird. I guess it is. Yeah, it's on the big network. Okay. You're not doing anybody any harm. We're almost done building all the stuff I said I wanted. I have more space. More slabs, honestly. Gonna need a lot. Ooh, I can set up a new hotbar for working without slabs. Yeah, I said I want a bunch of salt. Now I can go get back to that rift on the fire plane, earth plane on my way out. I think I'm now relatively set here. Like, my inventory isn't perfect, but it's good enough. Everything here is more or less working. I'd like to dispel... Oh, right, I don't have... Well, I should practice using Meteor Swarm, I guess, because I'm going to be using it. So if I just click, it basically doesn't do anything. I have to hold. It's channeled. I mean, it seems like horrible. It's so much less accurate than Riptide. I don't know, maybe it's more mana efficient? There's even some in here that I missed. Lava barriers. I hope I don't need those. Yeah, I mean, I guess let's get going. Like I said, I'm sure I could do more. Even ship in some salt would be something, but I just want to get going. I don't need to be perfect. I'll do all my cool fire research once I get there. I'll automate whatever grippers. I don't know. Shipping magma grippers still seems like it would be kind of cool, but like given fire wire is pretty good at distributing power. So the magma grippers, I guess the point of those though is that they're earthen grippers that don't use extra range, so they can get you higher throughput without requiring higher distance. Yeah, but that's like, let me just double check real quick. Do I really not want these? I do want them. Okay, you know what? These would be quite a lot of work to make on fire. And I am already making all the stuff they require here on Earth. I just have to wire it up. And then I'll have access to a very powerful tool on the fire plane. So let's do that. It's just like grippers and brimstones, right? Like in one other thing. Lava barriers, yeah. So brimstone is this stuff, right? Yeah. The simple grippers are miles away. But I'm making a decent number of them. I threw away all my streamers. Okay. I was so ready to leave. It's fine. There's a big box of them over here. Can't carry very many, but I shouldn't need that many. Give me also a couple undergrounds. Where are those? Here. Burden streams, I don't need. Deltas, do I even make those here? I don't think so. Okay, so I can make a few by hand if necessary. Grippers are in this area, right? Yeah, these are grippers. Oh yeah, they're not that far away. They're right here. No, those are pedestals. Not actually making grippers? I am. I know I am. Here. These are grippers. Yes. Simple grippers come out here. Okay. Are these verdant streams, by the way? No. And it's lava barriers that you want, right? Yeah. Which is in here somewhere. It's over on the left, actually, isn't it? Here. Yes. Okay. Let's actually go under this as well. So these build very quickly. I only need one crucible, right? Which I assume I don't have on me. I really only made, no, I made 27 of these, okay. Here it is. That's keystones. This is the bismuth, right? So I need a couple of streamways here, or deltas rather. So let's send some bismuth over there. These are earth keystones, which I don't need. Bismuth. Lava barriers, they're up here? Now I can put down my crucible here-ish. So let's review this recipe. Every 1 second, it wants a 3 brimstone, 3 grippers, and a lava barrier. So I need like multiple earthen grippers of input of each one if I want to keep this running all the time. But I don't need it running all the time. I don't need 2 magma grippers per second. That's insane. Nobody could use that because there's no research on it. So just a couple earthen grippers would be just fine, thank you. Where are they? They're on my hotbar, of course. It's been so long. Oh. Built it too close to this. Okay. I threw away all my blooms and most of my roots. I can't even make any because I threw away all my elemental life. That's embarrassing. Here's all the earth and fire. Yeah, I don't really make much elemental life here. I just had everything... Well, do I? I have a little mall over here that makes all the stuff I needed life for, I guess. No, but this, you need actual elemental life, not just roots. I have roots. I needed the elemental life, which is getting shipped in here. Let's just make a handful of blooms. That's probably plenty. I need 1, so that should be enough. The 5 or whatever I made. I think I need a root bound gripper too, or the underground root. I forget what they're called. One of these guys. Oh, no. Apparently I brought. No, I didn't bring some with me. Burrow root. Yes, that's what it is. So this is enough. It only makes 2 per second, which is a lot. But the point is 1 gripper is enough for that. No, I ran out of streamways because I said I wouldn't need that many, but I forgot I was doing all this. It's just, you know, I'm like thoughtlessness after thoughtlessness here. $150 is more than enough, surely. I don't have to route it very far. Because I already built it up to here. You guys are whatever. None of this was ever necessary. It was just there for an experiment. All right, like that. I'll just pick these up for my own personal use. Now, I mean, is this going to stand the test of time? Am I going to have magma grippers going out of here like clockwork for 100,000 years? No. We ran out of this input. Oh, no, we didn't. It's just hard to see. I don't know if... I don't think we're producing enough stuff to keep this working forever, but it doesn't need to work forever. It just needs to make enough that it's easy. Let me just make sure this actually goes. That it's easy to have access to magma grippers on the other side, because those would be really nice. High throughput grippers. That don't need power, which shouldn't be a big deal. It should be easy to supply power on the fire plane, but they also don't need extra distance like reaching grippers do, so having both is handy. Right, that's why I'm using simple grippers somewhat regularly, just because like it's convenient, they don't have to reach so far, but not as often as I would like. Often it's like, well, you know, I need more throughput, better use a reaching gripper, even though it's awkward to get them to reach. Okay, I really do want to make sure that these arrive before I step through. Even though it seems to me that the streamway is perfect, maybe one of these tiles is pointing the wrong direction, right? Come on, streamways are supposed to be fast. Am I really that much faster than they are? No, here they come. So this is what? A third-ish of a half of a streamway? A sixth of 16? 2.5 per second-ish that we're making here. That's obviously more than I need. I'm glad I found something that's worth shipping, even if it's maybe not the most important thing. It should be a big improvement over simple grippers, and not having to make the simple grippers on Earth, on fire, will be nice. I assume there's some kind of gripper variant. Well, I don't know. Why should I assume that? It seems like there should be, though, on Shadow. Sorry, on... yeah, Shadow, which we'll have access to in Fire. I don't know. There might not be. Maybe the idea is that Shadow has... well... I know it has a streamway variant. I know Earth and Air both have, like, gripper variants. But those are opposed to each other. So, yeah, I guess it would make sense. Grippers here and here, so you always have access to one of them no matter where you are. Streams... well, but water and shadow aren't opposed to each other. So they each have something streamy. But if you were just on Earth, how would you... You don't have access to a good transport mechanism on Earth. That's interesting. Whereas in air, you have access to two. Huh. So what would that say about grippers? Could the other good gripper be on air? No, I don't know. I'm just speculating. I know there is an air gripper. Okay, it's working. And this can... Well, I guess it must be 2.5 per second they're being shipped here, which I estimated by doing math, but like that's how much the gripper that's outputting onto the Streamway can handle, so it makes sense that it came out to about that number. All right, I think I'm ready. Let's go. I'm still carrying some useless junk, but overall, I mean, I don't know. I'm not enough of some things that I want, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's just go. And out of curiosity, is that we'll have time to look around on the new plane. Hopefully I didn't cause the game to crash by tabbing out and back. Looks like it's recovered. It's a white screen. It crashed. Thank goodness for autosaves. It's still up. I can't relaunch. It's updating my Steam Cloud Sync. There we go. How do you even report this? There's nothing that interesting. It's just like my game crashed when I tabbed out and back in. Don't have a crash log because I don't know how to get crash logs in this game. All right, continue. Y'all can see this, right? Yeah. I don't know. The longer you run the game, the worse tabbing out seems to be. The obvious, like, you could say it's a memory leak. That's a reasonable conclusion to jump to, but I don't have any evidence for it. Even if there were a memory leak, that shouldn't cause this problem. Like, I think something else is happening. It's trying to do stuff it assumes will be fast, but actually it's slow. And so when it, we didn't lose any progress thanks to autosaves. When you try to tab out, it gets in the middle of doing something, and you tab back in, it assumes it's finished doing that, or something like that could be happening. I don't know. All right, so we'll have time to look around on Fire, and I don't know. I can make the episode as long as I want, but a little over an hour is kind of where I try to say let's not go much longer than this. Not always successfully. I made it. I'm on fire. Hey! Oh, wow, it closes behind you real fast. It didn't used to do that. Huh. Okay. So let's just confirm. If I put down a fire wire here... Yeah, 13 million power store. Whoa! This just popped in. This wasn't here. Okay. Well, let's look around. What is there? So the ocean equivalent is a lava pool. Can you do anything with that? I don't know. There's these dark grounds here. I'm not sure what that's all about. There's earth here. There's fire here. I guess because we're near the earth portal, that makes sense. These are fire, I assume. They don't look like shadow to me. Oh, kind of a funny thing here. I guess there would be no harm in building near the portal, because there's nothing going on the other side that cares about losing power. The magma grippers don't need power. There's the mana pools and mana wells up here. I guess maybe I don't want to disturb that. Maybe I shouldn't have built them so close. Oh, is this shadow? No, this is fire, right? I'm already like, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. It's been a long time since I was on a new plane. Oh, this looks purple. This is not fire. This is shadow. Yeah. Okay. And then there's some fire right here, yes? Yes. So this could be a good place to set up some basic shadow research, right? Just need salt prisms and elemental shadow. Tar cauldron. Oh, that's probably the basic building for making stuff. It makes basic shadow structures of some kind, I guess. Do I need earth nearby? I mean, not really. Elemental shadow is gonna need... Oh, I didn't pick up my binders. Oh, I need a ton of salt and ether now, I bet. Okay, well, I can just make a handful of these. May as well get started, I guess. Well, but I need the grindstones. What I should do is maybe make some more salt prisms, just to, like, have them handy. Because you do need a decent number of those to build everything. Yeah? Alright. New hotbar, I guess. 2, I think, would be like a gripper, right? It used to be simple grippers, but here it can be magma grippers. I had reaching grippers on... Well, you know what? Let's... Undergrounds on 2. Well, no, I don't think that is right. See, I need grippers more often than I need undergrounds. Oh, you guys suck. Get out of here. Root bag grippers. This was on 3 before. I think this all makes sense. Reaching grippers on 4. Yeah. I rarely use those. I just grab them with Q from whatever's around, but this is an order that makes sense. These fire wires I probably will need frequently. Put them here. I'll honestly just throw away these simple grippers. I've got a whole chest full of magma grippers. I don't have enough grindstones, probably. Let's just build some of those. Would have been nice if I'd picked up some more. So my recollection is if you drag here, it really does just place them at every tile. So you, I know. I'm just it's so convenient in Factorio. Like if I do this, that's telling me they won't connect. But it's just really awkward to run and drag these behind you, right? You have to precision place every one of them. going down here? At least with roots, like dragging made sense because you were actually covering every tile and it was necessary. Yeah, here we go. With these guys, it isn't actually necessary, but there's no good tool to help you do the right thing. Is there like a long power pole equivalent, I guess? Or large, big power pole is what they were called? Here's the new area I want to start my work. I could probably start basic shadow research by hand, actually, right? Just with these motes of shadow. I need some elemental binders. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do, actually. Get that research going while I start building construction stuff. So, altars. I don't think I have any, right? Any chests, but I brought plenty of salt and ether, so I can make these myself. Oh, let's put chests on the hotbar. I like those. And there isn't always a chest handy to grab from. Let's put them there, actually. So the research here just wants salt prisms and elemental shadow. Oh, speaking of research. Ta-da! Is it, hello? Is it done? Yes. So it should start on this now, which there was already a small amount of progress on before. And this is actually the good stuff. This is actually great, but just not when I'm not using Earth for power distribution. I'm not using life for power distribution. Yeah, okay, it's making progress. So salt prisms, we only need like 5 of these or something, right? Not very many. 30. So I can just plop that in. That'll do. And then I need an elemental binder. Did I actually make any of those, or did I just say it's something I could make? I said it's something I could make. Okay, I've changed my mind. This one actually... Oops, that's backward. There we go. This one should be elemental shadow. This should be salt prisms. Enjoy your motes of shadow. Enjoy your salt, right? Nope. He wants ether. Actually, I need more than that, don't I? That's probably enough. There you go. What an incredible research project I have going here. It'll do basic research. Now, I definitely didn't mine these mote fields. I touched them. I sucked up the little thingies, these things. And that was enough to create a rift. But you know what? This rift doesn't bother me. It's not in the way. You can stay. I press Q over this? No, it doesn't get the right thing. Okay. Where are my collectors? These? Yes. They're all such weird shapes. I know that's on purpose and it's part of the fun. And I'm not objecting at all. They're just weird. So maybe like this, a central collection point? Okay, that's appealing. Okay, let me just make sure there's nothing under this that's like a huge pile of motes. There's some. I mean, this is enough for the moment, right? Get those slabs going. This is probably more than I can even get out on a slab, honestly. And these are kind of amenable to being fed by firewire, right? In a nice way. Actually, it looks like I could fit more. How often do these make? 1 every 2 seconds. So 4 of these is 2 every second. It's half a slab. I have 5, so it's still 8 to fill these up, huh? Whatever, this will do, I guess. And this makes ether. Hey. So we can now see what some of this stuff is. Tar Cauldron, yes, this is what makes stuff in Shadow. And Ichor Slick. Mysterious fluid that's part transport, part storage, holds 1 item type. Yeah, so this is the one thing I know that we're gonna have. Well, I guess I know about 2 things that I knew we would have access to here. I don't know exactly, like, I think I know roughly how it works, but okay, we'll look at that in a minute. There's some movement speed here, which we're already researching. Great. Some shattered stuff here already. Okay. Inventory, which we'll get. Reach, which we'll get. Mana regen. Okay, so actually, you just need Salt Prisms and Elemental Shadow for the first 6 things. I guess that's up until Adept. Is that true elsewhere? Sort of. There's these divergences where you could get other stuff, but not here. So, okay. We actually do need this kind of stuff, but just more of it, right? Oh, I never really looked at the particles coming off of these. That looks kind of nice. Oh, yeah, you're covered by... All right. I confess. I would like more... Hello? Why can't I put you down somewhere? I would like access to more of this stuff. Yeah, mana pool's happily contributing 1,500. So I said I don't mind this rift, but I was lying. I do. The thing is that, like, incineration spires by themselves, it seems to me, can't actually keep an area safe from rifts because they don't clean up the leftover entropy. But I guess if you have one there at all times, no entropy can ever really take a foothold. Unless it happens to spawn right on top of this, which is something I heard someone complaining about in the Discord. It's hard to tell where the fire motes are and where you're just seeing like this stuff. Oh, this is kind of funny. They're designed to 69 or whatever, right? That can't be an accident. Huh. This one makes little sense. There's not really anything there. But I added 3 to the 5 I already had. That's 8, which should be... should be exactly a slab, right? Oh, is there a thing there? I can't even see it. There. I like this. I imagine as soon as I get extra collector spots on these, this idea will stop looking cool. But at the moment, it makes it very easy to pack these onto a mote field. It's just difficult to actually export all the motes because you have an inner and an outer ring. Okay, cool, 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 cool. So this really ought to all go to Ether, I assume. So isn't it? It's... It's 8 grindstones to fill one of these, as I recall, right? Gotta look at the recipe. Well, no, I guess you gotta look here. Yeah, if I had researched the electrolyzer or whatever it is, pyrolyzer, then this would be much nicer, but I didn't do that because I'm a big dummy. Who didn't want to... no, I'm a big baby who didn't want to automate ingots on the Earth plane. Yeah, so it is 8 grindstones to empty this slab out. Fine. Do you really need... Yeah, it's 8 of them to fill a slab. Okay, just checking. Grindstones. Kind of a gap in coverage right there, huh? Well, I guess I should start figuring out a layout for these, keeping in mind the fire wires that have to power them. So let's not try to build based on specifically these fire wires. And this stuff here, you know, I'm not giving myself a lot of room, but this is all going to get torn down in a sec. So if this is just being ground up, it could look like this, right? This could be my 8 grindstones. And the grippers are draggable as well, which is a nice advantage. Problem is the other end is going to need... Oh my god. I won't be able to just click and drag the grippers because there's only supposed to be 1 per building. I need wires as well. about this often. Every fourth building, I guess. Yeah, let's just tear this all down right now. It got me the first thing, and then I immediately admitted I don't want it. Yeah, the top left corner of every fourth building. Perfect. Okay, that's fine. That's almost draggable. It's like 2 and then 1 around this thing. It's not draggable, but it's sort of easy to replicate. Okay. So now I have ether. I didn't bring that many salt prisms, huh? Let's set up some simple collectors, which I made a handful of. And the old tried and true layout of just like this. And remembering that it takes twice as many of these to saturate a field, because they're half as fast. Or, well, not saturate a field, but saturate a belt, I guess. Oh my god. So, it's so impossible to drag straight lines as a human being, you know? Now the good news is getting firewire through this facility should be very simple. It isn't. It's annoying. Well, okay. I guess what you do is that and that. Just sort of like above every row. So do I just turn this into salt, or do I, so I can make salt prisms? No, that's what earth should be for. Earth and shadow are both relatively rare here, but I don't need a bunch of earth. I need a bunch of shadow. So this ether should bind with this shadow to make elemental shadow. Which is 1 to 1. So I just want these to combine with each other. I'm just setting up a new salt mall like a big dummy. Or not a mall, but basic salt bootstrapping. When I could be... Oh, look at this. We moved the rift over there. That's so much nicer. When I could be like experimenting with shadow stuff, but I need to make elemental shadow to even experiment with it, right? So it would be 8 elemental binders to use up all this stuff. So I remember I had some layout that used the, like this. in the past, I shouldn't need much space anymore because I can use non-reaching earthen grippers in the form of magma grippers, right? But they require two different inputs, and I can't combine them onto a streamway anymore. Right, okay. So I need reaching and magma grippers to do this right, I think. Let's just, for now, I guess I'm going to need elemental binders pretty often. Let's just plop them over there or something. So, let's say I do have salt come in like here. Not salt. Shadow. And ether comes in on the other thing that's only one bit away, right? I still need an output, which can look like this. And here as well, right? And how's the firewire to supply this looking? If I put one right here, it's perfectly, it handles everything these structures need, except this input here. But this is nicely tileable, so I can have another one, well, almost tileable. Right, if I put this here, it won't work, but if I put it here, then can't I just repeat this whole setup again? And I need magma grippers for the inputs to these, but that's fine. They don't even need to be powered. Right? I'm out of slabs? No, I'm not. Okay, I got confused. So, I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is not a very expandable way to think of things, but if all of this ether is permanently dedicated to making shadow for my startup mall, like, would that really be so bad? Okay. Ether should be plentiful here one day when I get pyrolyzers. Right, now we're finally making some elemental shadow, and we can play around with some of this stuff, like make me some ichor slicks. Show me how that works. Surely that goes on the hotbar somewhere. How about here? So my understanding from what I've read is that this is kind of like a really large chest that you can drag as though it were a streamway or a belt or whatever. What would be the purpose of this? Well, obviously it's great for transporting things huge distances, but it's awkward because, well, I mean, here, let's they're not chests because they don't buffer. Like, sure, makes sense, but what? Well, I don't really have a use. Okay, maybe this was the wrong way to start my experiment. Maybe I should try turning this thing into an Ichor Slick just to see how it works. Oh, it even has the animations of little ether coming out of it to show you why. I saw that there was kind of purple stuff down here, and I thought that was just what slicks looked like. But no, it was because that was a slick for elemental shadow. So my understanding of what's happening here is that these guys are just dumping their stuff straight into the slick, and when someone down here wants it, it comes out magically from somewhere. So they're kind of treating this as a chest with zero capacity in a way, a synchronization point. Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, it's cool. It's fast transport. With no buffering, by the way. So you don't ever have a bunch of ether just sitting on the ground not being used, which is good and bad. Okay, so we have a bunch of elemental shadow. That's cool and all. But I need a bunch of salt prisms to actually do any research. I mean, I could make a few hundred of them, but it's not really the right way to get started, right? Yeah, it needs more and more, of course, as you go, like 500 total to get to here, and then another 300, like 800 of these. Do this by hand does not seem like a good time to me. So, okay, I mean, I guess I should just get going, right? It's been like an hour and a half. Okay, well, we did a little something. We experimented with our first shadow structure. This thing. Haven't thought hard about how to like make it work, but it's a powerful tool, and we'll do cool stuff with it in the future. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.